things aren't looking good for Team Roman Reigns. Scratch that. For Team Jey Uso right now. While they are still in the hunt for a fifth member, Solo Sikoa and his bloodline have already finalized an addition. Bronson Reed is the fifth member of Team Solo Sikoa, and he decimated the OG bloodline last night on SmackDown. Now, naturally, given Reed's involvement, one could assume Seth Rollins will be the ideal fifth member. But could the group end up receiving help from another former Universal Champion? Now that's what I want to talk to you guys today about. There's some options out there, guys. You got Brock Lesnar, right? What if Paul went to go get Brock Lesnar to come help Roman in the OG bloodline, right? What if The Rock come through as the fifth member, even though The Rock wasn't a Universal Champion? But Brock Lesnar will be the guest when you hear that former Universal Champion. The answer to that question is quite possibly yes, because the former Universal Champion in question is Braun Strowman, guys. While Bronson Reed has had an issue with Seth Rollins, he perhaps faced his toughest task in the form of the Monster Amongst Men this past September. With that in mind, Team Roman Reigns could approach the 41-year-old and discuss the potential of having him as the fifth member at War Games. Strowman locked horns with Bronson Reed in the last Monster Standing match on Raw this past September. While he eventually emerged victorious, the Monster Among Men suffered a torn groin during the encounter and has yet to appear on TV since then. However, the veteran returned to in-ring action last night as he joined forces with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio for a six-man tag match, dark match, against the Judgment Day. Assuming Seth Rollins declines to join OG Bloodline for War Games, Braun Strowman will be a great option for Team Roman Reigns. Again, for Team Jey Uso. Let's talk about why it should be Team Jey Uso, guys. Roman Reigns haven't done nothing since WrestleMania, and at WrestleMania, he lost the title. Jey Uso had been winning. Jey Uso had been selling merchandise. Jey Uso is the leader of this team. Believe it or not, Jey Uso is the reason why they have 4 members. All right? After all, he likely won't pass up the opportunity to take out Reed and establish himself as the only monster in WWE. At the end of the day, this is all just speculation right now. There's no telling who the fifth member of the OG Bloodline will be. One thing is for sure though, Roman and company need to speed up the recruitment process if they are to have any hopes of coming out on top at Survivor Series War Games. Last night, however, Roman suffered a huge setback on SmackDown. Last night was one to forget for Roman Reigns. The OTC appeared at SmackDown knowing he didn't have a fifth member for his team yet. And what's more, the OGs were absolutely destroyed by the new Bloodline and Bronson Reed. But that wasn't the biggest setback Roman suffered last night. The biggest setback for Roman was revealed at the end of the episode. Having finally had enough, the OTC decided to call the one man he thought he could rely on, his wise man, Paul Heyman. But much to his degree and the WWE Universe surprise, the 39-year-old was greeted by a recording message, one that stated that Heyman's number was not in service.
Call the wise man.
The number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording. The number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording.
this is undoubtedly a setback for Roman, and one that raises a lot of questions. Is the wise man okay? Why is he not reachable? Has Solo Sikoa done something to him? And so many more. All of which will hopefully be answered in the coming weeks. Now guys, y'all put in the chat what y'all think. What y'all think, guys? Let's chop it up. What y'all think? Like I said, do you think Paul Heyman is recruited by The Rock now? I think the next time we see Paul Heyman is going to be side by side with the final boss, in my opinion. Remember, this is all speculation. We could pretty much know that Brock Lesnar is not coming back. Brock Lesnar lost so much weight. He looks completely different. He run around here looking like Batista. So Brock Lesnar is not, he got nothing to do with this story. I think Paul Heyman gonna come back with Rock. Paul Heyman also might come back at Survivor Series, guys. He might come back with the key and turn on Roman. Who knows, guys? But y'all let me know. I love to hear what you guys think. So let's go take it to the comment section, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. A video gonna pop up on the screen. You could click into that to continue your viewing experience over here at the Figure 4 TV. I'll see y'all later.
What a difference a week makes. So on SmackDown, I don't know if you caught SmackDown or heard, but the OG Bloodline is back, baby. It's going to be the OG Bloodline against Bloodline 2.0 at Survivor Series War Games from Vancouver, November 30th. Yeah. Now, did you think that Roman Reigns was just going to accept Sami Zayn? I mean, I know we all saw the kick, the haluva kick. We all questioned if it was on purpose, but I guess Roman Reigns felt like it wasn't, and he accepted Sami into the fold. Did you think that was going to happen that way?
Did Roman accept?
I mean, they all threw up the one together in unison. It looks pretty acceptable to me. I mean, but I don't know. You're right. I mean, maybe he didn't.
Did he accept? I mean, we all know the type of dude that Roman is. He doesn't forget anything. You know, rest assured, like that kick, it's still on the back of Roman's head, I feel. Right? I mean, and then, you know, who knows? Because we can't have that same mistake during War Games. Because if that happened, and it costs Roman and you know, the original Bloodline the loss, you know, there's going to be you know, a problem there.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I can rest assured that probably, you know, Roman's eyes is going to be wide awake during that time for for War Games with Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say this to Sami Zayn that tread lightly.
And speaking of War Games, you have experience in War Games and Survivor Series. My question to you about Survivor Series War Games, do you think this is going to be a traditional Survivor Series match in the War Games atmosphere with the two rings?
I think it's great, hopefully. You know, because we always see what the Survivor Series has been for years. You know, I think the change for this type of Survivor Series and the War Games, the look, the atmosphere, I think can bring, you know, bring excitement to this type of match, this type of pay-per-view. So let's see where, you know, Triple H decides to take this, and the creative control or creative minds that are behind the scenes there. You know, it'll be great for the fans. I like it.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about Survivor Series a little bit. You have experience with the Survivor Series. I remember one of the things I love the most about Survivor Series is you get all these people together you normally wouldn't see on the same team. And I just remember footage of you back in the head shrinker days with your boots. And I remember you were on a team with, I can't remember who the players were, man, but it was a really, really good group of guys. Let me talk to you about your Survivor Series memories. What memory stands out the most from all the Survivor Series you've been involved in?
I think when we slipped on a banana peel and got beat. I believe we was Survivor Series back in the day was also part of Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm taking, probably a lot of kids don't even remember that. But I kind of remember this Survivor Series. I think it was out in Providence, Rhode Island. It was the Head Shrinkers versus the Bushwhackers, I believe it was. And of course, it wasn't the 5-on-5, but being a part of the Survivor Series, right? And so, you know, one of my memories of Survivor Series was, being able to come out there and work that gimmick as far as, I think we were bringing out turkeys and stuff like that. You know, we were the Savages, so we're like, you know, the promo was we're in the back just, you know, tearing up turkeys and inside the kitchen. And then when we come out, you know, we have this match with the Bushwhackers. You know, the Bushwhackers come out, whoa, way, whoa, you know, just, it was such an easy night off type of match that, you know, the finish, you know, with these two different characters, the finish was just one of those original simple finishes. A lot of people probably don't even, you know, understand that, you know, in sports entertainment, any finish can happen. And so, you know, we were built up as like one of these vicious tag team, like we'll rip your head off. But to get beat on a slip on a banana peel, that was definitely a genius finish.
Okay. So that's the Survivor Series memory. Let's talk about
Owen Hart, Coco Beware. I think this was
High Energy.
This was also during Survivor Series, I believe it was. You can Google it or YouTube and check it out. I'm sure it was. And I only remember this because this was the first time the Head Shrinkers first debut as far as in a pay-per-view.
Okay.
And we were married to Coco Beware and, you know, the late Owen Hart. It was one of the greatest workers, these two guys. We were married with them for about a year, I believe it was.
Wow. High Energy and the Head Shrinkers?
High Energy and the Head Shrinkers, and we would open up the shows. And it was always one of those, like, what we call, like, a night off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk about that term, a night off, because some of the people viewed.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.